Hello, this is part 2 of the craft bag lace. So this is what we're aiming for, and this is part 2. So I've put down the last of the, and I'm just going to trim off what I don't need. Don't throw those away because they're good for centres of flowers. So I'm quite liking that bit. So we need a bit of a frill at the top, and with it being the front, this is where you get a little bit more fancy, because you want the front of the bag more fancy than the back. So I am going to trim this one off now, but with it being organza, I do need something underneath. So what I think I'll do is use this one, because it's working so well with the false lace, and then that one can go on top. So I'll just add that. I'm going to add that one below the hemline of the bag, so I can add the fancier trim on top. So just press it down. So at this point I'm just going to move the craft mat up so I can continue decorating the top. So that is quite nice, that one. So on top of that I'm going to add some more of the glue for the organza lace. I'm just checking which way this one is, so that's that way. Pressing it down with the silicone fingers because we don't want any burnt fingers. So that's looking quite pretty. Quite liking that, so I'm quite happy. So we need to do some more fancy along the top. So again, I'll just bring out my bag of tricks. So how fancy do we want it? Do we want it glittery and pearl? Do we want to add a bit of silver gem? Do you want to add some baubles with that on top? Do we want to add, I quite like that. Right, I'm sticking with that. I'm just going to cut that off. Move that to one side because I think I might put that on the bottom again, because that looks so pretty on the bottom of everything. So glue along the top. So on the frilly part, because remember you want to keep the top bit unglued and anything in the way, so we can gather properly for your closure when you're going to pull the ribbons. So just smooth that along. Trim that off. Again, I'll use that for something later. Right, I'm quite happy with that. So that looks quite good, quite interesting. So I'm quite happy with that. The back is more plain, and you can see the original detail. I'm going to move this back down because I'm going to be dealing with the decorations on the centre now. So this one seems to have come out more cream than white. So I'm going to switch over the lace because that one, yes, I believe that is too white. Here's the cream. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the pattern sections. Need quite a few because I'm going to double layer them. So even if I cut off too many, they'll not be wasted because they can be tucked in as extra. But it's quicker if you do more. So we'll just see how this goes. So I'm not going to trim them. I'm just going to leave them as they are. I'm going to put a base down. No, I'm not. I'm just going to go for it. So the centre of my bag is there. So I'm just going to add the first one. The second one, and make them into a circle first of all. I do need to trim that one because I've snipped. So just moving round a little bit of the glue. A new glue stick in. Right. So another glue point there. Catching the lace underneath. Now this is rather fiddly, and with it being hot, but I think I'm going to take off two of my glove fingers. So I can pick up the lace and use my glue gun nozzle to catch it down. Turning it around, popping that in. It is a little bit fiddly with my fingers, but I hope you can see and catch what I'm doing. So there's the full circle round, so now you're going to overlap where you missed by adding another of the flower points in. So just work your way around again. You can go further down into the centre if you wish. So it looks as though the petals are growing. Just catching it in there. Another one. One last one. And there we have the flower. I'm not pressing any more glue, I'm just pressing it down to save my fingers. And I think I'll actually do another layer, because that one has turned out quite nice. So I'm just going to cut off another half a dozen or so. And I'm going to go in between again, move it down a little bit, catch it in between, And you can see as I'm pressing it down, it's actually making them curl up like you would do a flower, a paper flower. So I'm quite happy with that. Last one, I think. And turn it round. So just checking. I'm going to use 2 in the middle. Just squidging a little bit of glue. Overlap them in the middle. And I have a doily so that all of the insides are nice and clear. Just going to add little dots all the way around. Watch your fingers for this. Remember I've taken my fingers off, so I'll have to remember to press down with the other hand. So centralise it. Make sure I'm happy and just pop it down. Right. So that is it so far. That's quite pretty. Just going to press that down, and I've got some butterflies. So it depends how big I want the butterfly to be. I think actually on this one the smaller butterfly will be better. Yes. I'll just move those out of the way. So that's got a central body there, so I'm just going to add, and I'm going to have it off centre at the top and have it on there. Right, quite happy with that. And that's how it's looking so far. You can see all of the bits on there. Now to the bottom. So I've got this lovely bead section here that I want to have on top. I'm just going to cut this down. Now a top tip, because these crystals are sewn on, it's best if you zap them to keep them from falling off. So I'm just going to zap this side. I've already zapped the other side when I used it. So, and it also stops your ribbon from fraying. I'm just going to catch that there. And place that on there. So I'm going to go underneath the ribbon that we had there. So I'm just going to add a few blobs of glue to get me started underneath the ribbon. The crystals do get in the way, but once you start putting the ribbon down, everything works out fine. So I'm just going to carry on. Tidy up the lace as well, because you don't want that skew width. So just moving along, and I've come to the end of my bag, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there. Press that down, and I'm going to cut it off again, and I'm going to zap this piece so I don't lose the crystals. You just gently do it. So I just need to zap this one, Can you see where this thread is? So that is what I'm going to catch in so I don't lose any of my crystals. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. You can see them dangling. The centre, the butterfly and the top, and the straps are all nice and free. So now to do the sides, and all I'm going to do is trim off to the length, the width and the length that I want them to be, in as straight as line as possible, so I don't get those little ribbons out of the way, because you don't want to trim those off, otherwise you'll have to start again. Just going to trim, see what that looks like. Yes, I'm quite happy with that. I think I need a little bit more off here. And I'm just going to open, and just at random points I'm just going to put a little spot of glue to join them together. Nothing too heavy, just little spots. And again this side, nothing heavy. Use a point where there's already a larger close-knit piece of lace, and then once you've done that, if there's anything to trim like here, you just need to trim it off. And there you have your bag. I'll just take out the craft sheet, and here's the test. You've got all of that. You can reopen it. You can pack it full of lovely things and send it away, or you can store all of your lace and everything else in that. So again, I'm just going to trim that piece there. The butterfly, the rosette of lace that we made, the trim, all of the lace layers that you have, so wherever you look you have lots of layers of lace, trims, and then on the back, so you know there it's the back. I'm just going to glue this one down because it's getting on my nerves, so bear with me. And this side again, just a little bit, just to keep it going. So I'm quite happy with that. I hope you've liked this tutorial, and I hope to see anything that you've made as well. Many thanks. Crafty Kim saying goodbye. Goodbye.